want you to talk about the repression internally within the United States against people such as yourself who've spoken out and the mechanics of it. Is it the Dillard Foundation? Am I correct? Is that the right name? They are a funder of the Canary Mission, this insidious website that smears and attacks academics and students who speak out for Palestinian rights. They wield all these forces, these institutions, these entities wield tremendous amounts of money, and they use it. Now, I think the Dillard Foundation is a major contributor to your medical school. Is that right? But talk about how, behind the scenes, what is the engine driving this repression? It, of course, has close links with Israel. We saw that over the summer, where universities coordinated with so-called security groups, many with ties to Israel, on ways to essentially turn academic institutions into academic gulags, which they've essentially done. But explain for us how it works, because you've been a kind of target for them now for many months.
Yeah, and it's been very revealing. And, I'm sure there will be lots of fallout from this for the American people to learn about, like, for especially in California, where I work at the University of California. So this is a public university. So I was targeted by a California state senator, Scott Wiener, who is also a recipient of money from the Diller family. So the Diller family makes their money, and this is just my tale is an example because it's replicated ad nauseum across the country. But the Diller family makes their money from the Prometheus Real Estate Group. They are the largest corporate landlord of the Bay Area. So their ability to control the rents and set what the market rate is has functionally left thousands of working class people unhoused in the Bay Area. Okay. This group then goes and donates money to Scott Wiener, who is a California state senator who helps to greenlight their real estate development projects. Scott Wiener has ties to Israel. He's been several times during the genocide. Scott Wiener is also involved in a caucus that has gone through California's ethnic studies program and tried to remove any discussion about Palestine. Scott Wiener has personally harassed me and cyberbullied me online. And it was through his cyberbullying that I landed myself on the Canary Mission. So the Dillers fund Scott Wiener, the Dillers fund the Canary Mission, and the Dillers fund UCSF. So the largest funder to the entire UC system is the Diller Foundation. And so the question is, what are these relationships? When I first saw Scott Wiener tag UCSF online, and then UCSF respond with a defamatory post about me, which no one had ever seen before in the history of being at UCSF. Wow, they're attacking a faculty of color for her area of expertise, which is looking at power and health. So when that happened, some lawyers at the Center for Protest Law and Litigation were like, this is interesting. Are a California state senator, a donor, and a university conspiring to deny this professor her First Amendment rights? And that, and painting me as a Jew hater, as anti-Semitic, which has enraged my Jewish community here in the Bay Area, who I've served for years and years, and who wrapped their arms around me as this outrage from the right wing has come. The Diller Foundation also funds an organization, or has funded organizations in the West Bank that empower settlers to evict Palestinians from their homes and to take them over. So these people are literally people putting people in tents from San Francisco to Gaza, right?
Hmm.
And so that understanding that these are not theoretical connections, these are a right-wing forces masquerading in California as a California Democrat, rainbow wash Democrat, green wash Democrat. Scott Wiener is one of the most right-wing forces in California. And we, as the people of California, so now California's public schools are overwhelmingly made up of people of color. And here are the people who are trying to insidiously and overtly remove our histories from what we learn, remove our, faculty of color, especially, it's women of color who are getting targeted. I think most of the people being targeted across faculties in the California system are women of color. So to silence us, to remove our histories, this is part of a right-wing project, a white supremacist project, I should also iterate here. And so that's why we're seeing these strange bedfellows of Christian nationalists in bed with these right-wing Zionists. And the American people need to learn about this, need to learn like what is happening to our public school systems so that we can start to think like, wait, where do we want our money to be going? For example, the United States has given over $300 billion to Israel. Meanwhile, people in Israel have universal health care. Here in the United States, my patients are denied health care all the time by these health insurance corporations who are making record profits.
What about the medical associations? You've also, run into conflict with the AMA and these big, large medical organizations. Why are they so tied to the Zionist project?
Because it's a part of U.S. empire. So, as we understand, the AMA, these medical associations are mouthpieces for U.S. empire. They're not mouthpieces for the health of the people of the United States. And that's where we start to have to look at how we dissect away empire from the work of being a doctor, from the work of being a physician, the work of being a healthcare worker. We want to serve our communities. We want to see everyone get healthcare, have housing, have education without going into debt. Medical debt in the United States is the number one cause of personal bankruptcy. We know that debt itself is a driver, an independent driver of chronic inflammation. Raj and I wrote about that in our book. And so when we look at, these systems, it's a clear indication that it's time to start inverting them. We don't need to shoot CEOs in broad daylight. That doesn't solve anything. What does, though, is people organizing their labor, organizing themselves, and refusing to participate in a system that will take our money and send it to destroy a healthcare system in one country while we are not getting healthcare here. And it's a critical time to do that.